Hey, it's Al from Tilton's Heritage Pastures. We're on our way to pick up hay, our winter hay. All right, so we're going to get our winter hay. It'll be the first time that we're stacking hay in a four-door short bed Silverado. So we will do another video that explains exactly the best technique for stacking hay in a short bed Silverado. We're getting all our winter hay that we use for feed, bedding, and insulation. And one of the techniques that we like to use is hay salting. So we're going to go over a few different techniques that we use to salt hay. And stay tuned. I can put one in the middle and I can put like two right here. Yeah, there's 20 on there. Put another one right there. So it looks like we got about 27 on the back of the truck. we got 70 on the first round, and we're heading back for our second round. Okay, we're back. Well, we just finished picking up our last load and we are headed back. It looks like we could fit about 27. You could probably fit 30 bales in the back of the four-door Silverado. We have a small 6-foot by 8-foot trailer. So our total load, our first load, we fit 70. Came back and got another load of 30, which we put all 30 onto the trailer. And now we're going to take it back and get it stacked inside the loft and salted, and we'll be ready for winter. We're back at the barn. We have our 2 loads of hay. We're going to start stacking it up in the loft, and we're going to salt our hay. So salting is an old process. It's basically just an old, crushed rock salt, or we use feed cattle salt. When you're salting your hay, really all you're doing is putting the salt on, and that salt draws the moisture out of the hay, and it preserves your hay. Your hay will last probably 2 to 3 years that way. It's not a super complex process. I know it's kind of a lost art. A lot of people don't do it anymore. We do. We don't use as much hay as most folks do. We use it for insulation, feed, and bedding mostly. So we don't want moldy hay that's going to make any of our animals sick. So we'll just use a salt. There's no real prescribed method or amount. So you could use 50 pounds on 100 bales, or 100 pounds on 100 bales, or whatever you feel comfortable. And it really depends on how wet the hay is. If the hay is real wet, you're going to use more salt. If the hay is less, it's pretty dry. What we have is real dry. It's great folks that we get it from. They really care about what they do, and they use a lot of it for their own feed, for their own animals. And so we're gonna do that process. I'll show you the salt that we purchase. You can just get it from your local ag store. It's probably between depending on where you live, between $5 and $10 a 50-pound bag of salt. And again, it's just crushed rock salt is all it is. It's not an expensive salt. Just, you don't want to use a coarser grade salt. You want that little bit finer salt. That way it gets down into the bale, and all it really does again is it draws the moisture out of the bale, so your hay dries and it's preserved, and the animals don't mind having a little bit of salt. They tend to like it a little bit better that way anyway. I'm up inside the loft, and I've just swept everything out. I'm getting ready to bring all the hay, so I'll probably put it on the tractor, lift it up. I really need to invest in a bale elevator, but we don't do that much hay, so what we store here is going to last probably this winter, and who knows, maybe some of it will be into next winter. You can see right over here is our salt. I'll crack that open, and I'll show you real quick. I'm going to be stacking all the hay right here, so that we can, as we need it, we can push it right over the edge of the loft down into the stables, and be able to set up our bedding and feed. And so that's a simple bag of salt, just plain cattle salt or feed salt. I guess it doesn't have to be cattle salt. Right across the bottom you can see it has every livestock animal you can have. So we'll crack that open and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright. It's just simple feed grade salt. That's it. It's just crushed rock salt is all it is. That's pretty much it. Just bring it in the bales, handful of salt in each bale, boom, 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 done. Very easy process, and it's something that we should really bring back into practice. Just basic, simple salting of the hay, so we don't feed any of our animals hay that's mildewed or of a questionable grade, because we didn't have good storage. Now we're putting this hay up in the loft, so it was cut when it was dry, it was baled when it was dry, it hadn't rained anywhere in between. It's good dried hay. Sometimes we don't get that. So now, if you have to store your hay outside, I would especially say do it. Definitely do it. No matter what size bales that you're doing, you should still salt your hay. Just go get that inexpensive, like I think I paid $7 for a 50-pound bag. Not expensive. We're using about, like I said, a handful per bale. It's not too much. Okay. Not too little.
This is a 20 bale load.
putting up hay in Northern Maine. Yay! Well, looks like that's about it. Time for a nap in the hay. We only used about 50 pounds of, not even. I still got 10 pounds of salt left over. But very simple process. Just get some of that crushed rock salt and put up on top of your hay as you stack your hay. And that's it. It'll draw the water out, and your hay will be set for as long as you need it. You know, if it lasts you 2-3 years, that's good. If it lasts you 1 season, that's great. Won't hurt your animals to have that salt. In fact, it helps them a little bit. And that's about it. Until next time, take it easy.